Hi, this is David Hawthorne at astroview.com. Today's the 13th of August 2012. The following is the Vedic astrology reading for Congressman Paul Ryan based on the 29th of January 1970, 2:37 a.m. in Janesville, Wisconsin. Now in the first house is the 8th sign of Scorpio, so his ascendant or rising sign is Scorpio, which is a fixed sign and a water sign. Now, Scorpios have a tendency to amass wealth and status in life. In fact, Senator John Kerry was also a Scorpio, as was Bob Dylan. Now, Congressman Ryan has Mercury in the second house, giving good speech and intellect and the ability to communicate, especially dealing with business and financial matters. He has the royal sun ruling politics and government in the house of independence and self-expression and mental development. He's always had mental development connected with politics. He worked for senators when he was going through college, that type of thing. And of course, he's also been in politics himself successfully. He's on his 7th term of representing Wisconsin. So he also has the affluent Venus with the royal sun in the 3rd house of independence. That's good. His wife can be very much a leader as well. I think she's an attorney herself. So that's very strong, sun and Venus together. Rahu, the northern node of the moon, is in the 4th house. This can make him very ambitious for property. He actually lives in about a $500,000 home with 6 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms. And so anyways, he can have and he can have successful parents and grandparents. His own grandfather was appointed by President Calvin Coolidge as the U.S. Attorney for Western Wisconsin. So that's a very strong Rahu in the 4th. Mars in the 5th gives him logical, engineering, mathematical, scientific mind, a lot of courage mentally. Saturn in the 6th house can give him service to humanity. And Ketu in the 10th house, Ketu is a southern node of the moon. This can give some spiritual inclinations connected with career and professional life. And he has Jupiter moon in the 12th. He does have to be careful with Jupiter and the moon in the 12th because Jupiter rules the 2nd house of wealth and status, and it's in the house of losses and separation. And so it can cause discontinuation of wealth and status and family life relative to parents, spouse, siblings, children. And also moon here rules his 9th house of father, and it's in the 12th house of loss. And it's at 0 degrees. There's no power to support the moon. So this can cause some emotional disturbances as well. But because moon rules the 9th house of father, and it's in the 12th house of loss, he can lose his father. And also sun representing father over here is with Venus ruling the 12th house. 12th house is losses, so Venus brings loss of father here as well. So there's 2 indications of losses of father, 3 indications. One is the affliction of the 12th ruler Venus to the sun, which is father. The second is Jupiter ruling the house of continuation of family life in the house of losses. And the third is the 9th ruler up in the 12th house, losses. So that's loss of father, and indeed his father passed away from, I think he had a heart failure when Congressman Ryan was 16 years old. So that's the loss of father. But I think his grandfather and his great-grandfather also passed away from heart ailments while they were in their 50s. And they're only 50 years old or so, between 50 and 60 years old. So my concern is for Congressman Ryan because he has the same situation. He's got Venus ruling the 12th house with Sun ruling the heart and cardiovascular system. So loss of heart or cardiovascular issues. So it's a good thing he's doing a lot of exercise, a lot of diet. He's very well aware of the situation and he's working on it. Now, a couple of concerns also. Saturn ruling this 4th house is down here in the 6th house. That's not good. That can cause some conflict and litigation connected with property and real estate matters. And Saturn is actually in this debilitation sign. So that can cause some impatience, some phobias and worries, and distrust of other people. Now it's a weak Saturn, so it can cause trouble with his teeth, neck, back, spine, knees, joints, and ankles. So actually, if he wants to improve the quality of his life, he would need to strengthen Jupiter. He can wear a yellow sapphire for Jupiter. He can strengthen Moon by wearing a pearl. He can strengthen Saturn by wearing a blue sapphire gemstone. And he needs to strengthen his Sun, ruling the heart and ruling his career. He can wear a ruby gemstone for the Sun. Now, he's done very well, so we know something's going on for him to be able to be in his 7th term as a congressman from Wisconsin. So I think it's the well-placed Sun, the well-placed Mercury that are helping, and even the well-placed Mars can give some courage. But I am concerned. There are things going on in the chart that are not ideal, and so he definitely needs to do some remedies. He's actually he went into a Saturn main period in March 2007. He's currently in Saturn Mercury from March 2010. That runs till after the election in 2012. So he's in Mercury. So Mercury is well placed, but ruled by Jupiter, which is not well placed. It's in the 12th house. The reason he's done well with status in life is because, see, Jupiter is opposite Saturn. And Saturn rules his 4th house, so it's a benefic planet, and Jupiter's a benefic planet. So basically they're aspecting each other and they're supporting each other. So that really helps a lot with happiness, property, fixed assets, family life, wealth, and status. Now Mars here is also close to the rising sign degree, so it's bringing some issues. There can be conflicts over investments, there can be some health concerns for children, and there can be some disputes over inheritance or windfalls. There can be some disputes relative to international or foreign ventures, foreign affairs, conflict, wars. And Mars also aspects the 11th house, so that would cause some conflict with older siblings or some health issues for older siblings, or some disputes over income. So these are some of the main points from his chart. And we can see that currently Jupiter transiting the house of, this is the transit chart where the planets are today, and it's at 18 degrees, and it is, this Jupiter aspects 5, 7, and 9 houses away. So Jupiter, ruling wealth and status, is in the house of partnerships and collaboration, and it's aspecting both Venus and Sun, and that's blessing them. So that's, and Sun rules a career, and Sun rules government and politics, and Jupiter rules the wealth and status. So Jupiter transiting the house of partnerships gets him nominated as the candidate for the Vice President of the United States.